I gotta tell you, before I start talking about what I'm going to do today, living, we're going to talk about living in the Philippines and how you have to be prepared for a completely different mindset and understanding of reality. If you come from the Western world and you come from, like a family of doers, let's just say a family of doers. If your dad got up in the morning before the alarm clock and looked forward to going to work, and your mom got up and made him breakfast, and you got up and everything was ready for you to go to school, and you liked school, and you went to school, and you looked forward to coming home, and at the end of the day you had your chores to do and you didn't mind doing your chores. That's one mindset. But here in the Philippines, they don't have, in the province here, they don't have anything close to that. It's the mindset of the Philippines people is tomorrow's another day. You're going to hear that expression many, many times. When something could get done today in the West, we try to get it done that day. But here in the Philippines, if you make an agreement to do something with somebody and it doesn't get done because they decided not to do it, even though you agreed to have that thing done on a certain day, and you say, well, are you gonna move that stuff? Yeah, later. But you said you would do it today. Yeah, tomorrow's another day, they tell you. But when it's dangerous to the children that walk around the stuff that's on the floor, I'm not talking about my lot. I'm talking about other things. I won't mention what it is, but other things. When it's dangerous to the children and to adults and to the dogs, and they have time to take care of it. They might not take care of it for 4 or 5 days, and if you don't mention it, it could be a week or 2 weeks. So, and if you do mention it, they just say later. I'll get it later. And then they go and play a game on their phone. Now, if it wasn't dangerous to the children, I wouldn't mention it, but it was. And each time I said, if one of the children steps on that stuff, they're going to have to go to the hospital. Yeah, I know, they tell you, I know. But they left it there for 4 days. But what if it was your child? Say, it wouldn't make a difference. It wouldn't make a difference because their children do play there. So it's not just that they don't care about other people's children. They just don't have the mindset to get stuff done on their own accord. And that just amazes me. Now, another amazing thing is, now I said I didn't have water yesterday or the day before, but I had enough water in my bucket for the day before's bath and wash. So this morning I got up at, 5 o'clock and went out and looked at my water, and it's on, but I have no water. My valve is on. So I tried to call up the Panglao Water Department, but they don't have a phone. The water department in Panglao does not have a phone. But there is a phone number that attaches to the water department in Panglao, but that number goes to the city of Tagbilaran, which is 24 kilometers away from here. So you would think that the water department, Public Waterworks in Tagbilaran, being that the phone from Panglao says that the phone number is the phone number in the city. You would think that the phone number that's in the city would know what the phone number for Pang Lao is, but they don't. So in other words, you Google Pang Lao Water Department, there are no phone numbers, but they have to have a phone. But no one knows what the phone number is. If you call up the city hall for Pang Lao, which is in the same building, they tell you, we don't know what the number is, sir. Just come to the office. But, I mean, can they just stop work anytime they want and disappear for 3 hours? The answer is no. But for you, to them, it's not an inconvenience if you stop your work or your job or whatever it is for 2 or 3 hours to go to the water department because they don't have a phone. They don't have a phone. And there's nobody, no other waterworks, even the next local waterworks down the road doesn't know what their phone number is. It's the only waterworks in all of Bohol that doesn't have a phone. Now, I know my water's paid for a year in advance. And I know my neighbor has water now, but they didn't have it yesterday. I am the only person that doesn't have water. And they just told me, and one of the reasons why I'm late is because I spent 30 minutes on the phone trying to get a telephone number or an email address, and the water departments locally around us don't know an email address or a phone number for Pang Lao. And Pang Lao doesn't have a phone. So they just tell you to go there. And when you go there, there's probably 12 people in the office. Somebody should be able to answer a phone. We don't have any businesses open. We don't have any tourists here. The hotels are closed, but there's still the same 11 or 12 people are in the office. They can't be doing much. If they needed 12 people to service tens of thousands of tourists and hotels, and they still have 12 people, and they're only servicing a few thousand people in the local area, why can't they have a phone? It's a reasonable question. It's a reasonable question. Why can't they list a phone? And then when you do call up phone numbers that are on, well, like I told you the other day, I called up the bank 100 times. One time they answered the phone. When I went to the bank, I said to the woman, this is what it's like living here. I'm trying to give you people an example of what it's like living here. When I went to the bank, I said, I'm calling a number that ends in 50. Yes, sir, that's not our number. But it's on your website. It's on Google. Sir, it's not our number. I said, did I ask you if it was your number or not? I said, at Google, no, sir, it's not our number. Look it up on the computer. Sir, it's not our number. Look it up on the computer. Just look it up. Look, Google main branch and the name of your bank. And she did. And she found it on the website, on Google. She goes, but that's not our number. I'm going, so, but that's what the number gives you. Yes, sir, but it's not our number. I said, you're $1 billion peso a day business and you can't have somebody service your website? Sir, I don't know anything about that. Do you know how to fix it? She asked me if I know how to fix her bank's website. And this is what you go through every day. Whenever you talk to anybody around in any business, this is exactly what you go through. The woman who runs the managerial position of the bank asked me if I know how to change the telephone number that Google gives for her bank. First of all, you'd have to have the codes to go into and permissions to go into her bank. But she doesn't know that. So she asked me if I could fix it. Is there a way that you can fix it, sir? How could I access your bank's personal records? There's no answer to that question, but that's the kind of questions you get asked. So we had 20 plus blackouts in the last 4 days, at least. This morning there was no electric for 2 hours at between 5:30 and 7:30, no electric at all. Last night there was no electric when I went to sleep. There was no electric when I quit work yesterday. There was no for after I finished my live stream. The electric went off for an hour and a half or 2 hours. There was no electric at some time yesterday morning. When we had electric back on this morning, it came on and it went off for 10 minutes. It came back on and then went off for 10 minutes. And now, when I just tried to do the live stream, it came back on late. Well, there was some other problem that I don't know about. It's really hard living here. You have really got to understand that 80% of all telephone numbers and email addresses on 80% of all the websites in the Philippines are incorrect. And the reason the phone numbers are wrong is because Globe gives you a SIM card, and if you don't keep a load in that SIM card, after 60 days, they remove your telephone number. You can't buy the number back. The number just goes into the dead number pile for a year or two, and then they give it to somebody else. So what it is Globe and Smart are extorting you to keep a load in the phone at all times. And if you don't have a load for 60 days, they don't send you a notice the day before saying that we will cancel your SIM card if you don't put a load in within the next 48 hours. They will not do that. They just let your SIM card cancel, and then you have to spend $2 for another SIM card. Well, maybe more now, and a load. So it could cost you $2.20 because you forgot to put a load in. And if you don't keep a load in the phone, that's why 80% of all telephone numbers, Globe and Smart, don't work. Because people let their loads drop, and Globe and Smart don't give them a notice, a heads up notice. Why? Why can't Globe and Smart give you? If I were to show you how many thousands of messages I get from Globe and Smart in 1 year to buy an app, to add a product, to buy gigabytes, buy this, but never, ever one time a warning that your load is about to expire. They only want to sell you stuff, and that includes letting your load die, letting your SIM card die, and then selling you another SIM card. I had 5 messages from Smart alone this morning asking me if I want to buy gigabytes, and they have a new plan that now you can call other websites or other cell phones, for a less amount of money if you buy the plan, which is 300 pesos a month, and you might use that product once, and it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. There's telephones, the numbers that associate themselves with the websites themselves. I went to the city to a website, clear as day. I called up the woman. Are you open for business? Yes, sir. So I went to the building and the address on the website. Well, the building is closed. They switched buildings, and the woman on the phone forgot to tell me that we were in a different building around the corner. So, I called her up. Are you open for business? Yes, sir. What, I'm the first person that ever called you up and didn't know where you are? Don't you think the secretary would have the brains to say we're around the corner now? No. Yes, we're open for business. I asked her the question, are you open for business? Yes, sir. And she didn't offer the information of where she was, and I didn't ask. So it's my fault for not asking, is the website with your address and the picture of the building correct? That's my fault. It's an amazing place, the Philippines. I keep saying it. Now, on to the carnivore diet. I'm not sure that I like this as much as I like the keto diet. I'm hungry all the time. I don't know why. I had Scotch cucumber as a snack. I had an avocado for breakfast, and I'm still hungry. So I'm not real sure. I am losing weight, though. somebody stopped by this morning, and he acknowledged that he could see that I lost weight, but not how much. And then he turns around and tells me that he lost about 10 pounds. That's not true. I told him that's not true. And maybe in your head you lost it. Anyway, so I'm always hungry on this carnivore diet. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not eating enough meat with my dinner, but I'm hungry all the time. And I am losing more weight. My shirts fit differently, my pants fit differently, but I'm just hungry all the time. Now, what I had planned for today is I'm gonna show you a major thing I did yesterday was I took the anvil out of the cargo container too. That was a major accomplishment. It weighs 225 pounds at least. And I picked it up with the machine and moved it over to where the jet ski, when the jet ski comes down, I could put it up on top where the jet ski is. However, I'm not going to fly the jet ski today because the boy next door, the manager who's supposed to help me, will help me, but 2 days ago, he was injured on his motorcycle, and he has a hole in his ankle. Nice size hole. And so he's the person I want to help, so I'm not going to do that. And I did fix my tools. My tool bag was a mess yesterday. I oiled everything up. So I don't really know what to do today. I have lots of stuff to do. I have 2 bags of clothes in the back that have to be put in bigger bags and add mothballs to it because those mothballs are about done. And those bags have to go into the cargo container too. But I don't really want to open up, well, I might open up cargo container 2 and start pulling that stuff out. If I see the sun break, I'll take about 15 or 20 boxes out of the cargo container 2 and the drill press. Because the drill press doesn't belong in the cargo container 2. It belongs in cargo container 1 on the bench. And it's just in the way now. So between the anvil and the drill press, that will be 6.5 cubic square feet of floor space that's not jammed up with stuff, and that will help me get the containers. Maybe that's what I'll do. But then you don't really want to watch me move boxes. Well, yeah, some of you probably want to see what I have in the container, but that ain't going to happen anyway. You'll see the boxes from a distance. So I guess I should put the those bags of clothes. They're good clothes, and they'll fit me if I lose weight. They're from New York. If I lose more weight. So there's probably well over $1,000 worth of clothes in the 2 bags, because they're all nice shirts, Izods and Columbia shorts, $50 a pair, but they're size like 38. They're not like 44 or 46. I don't know what I'm going to do. Let's go outside and see. And that's the best I could do. What I am going to do is put my bucket, my tool bucket with the tools I took out of there yesterday. I'm going to put 2 holes in the bottom so water doesn't accumulate in there like it did last time in case it rains into the bucket. It was only a little bit, but it was too much. So let's go see what we got to do outside. And I still don't have water. I don't hear it. Sink didn't fill up. Got to find the shirt. It's damp. Looks like it's going to rain again. It's raining out, period. Doesn't look like anything. It's raining out. Okay? It's raining again. Rainy season. It rains a lot during rainy season. And that's why they call it rainy season. You wouldn't believe that, but They call it rainy season because it rains a lot. So I'm about ready to end this live stream and go inside the container. And yeah, that's what I'm about ready to do. Oh, rainy season, rain again every day. Uh, it's raining again. Well, there's a few things I could do, but nothing of any interest to anybody. And I can't take the camera outside, even though it says this camera, you can put this camera underwater for a half an hour or use it in the rain. 30 seconds after it gets wet, it does things that you didn't ask it to do. It just decides to change things. All right, so what I would suggest you do is, all right, I'm going to sit down again. There's no reason for me to be standing up on my feet. I'm going to take one of my morning pills. I think that's it. I think I'm going to end the live stream early today because the stuff that I have to do is not something that you're going to be privy to. Nothing illegal, of course, but I don't show you everything that I have and everything I do here. That's it. Now it's raining even harder. Huh. I should have went to the water department and canceled the live stream, but I'm not going to do that either because that's 2 hours of just destroys your day for 2 hours. Okay, that's it. If I have anything else to say, I'll come back on. I got a lot of things to do, but nothing that involves you. I got to paint some stuff yellow, but I can't even do that because it's raining outside. I have some maintenance to do on a machine, which is not part of something that you're privy to. And I have some stuff to put away inside cargo container one, some tools, which is really nothing important to you. And that's it. I'm being permy. That's it. That's all I got to say. And I had a guy. I don't even. It's an amazing thing living in the Philippines. It's amazing. It's every day there's an amazing thing that happens here. Amazing. When I say amazing, I mean amazing that to a college educated or a professional person or a go-getter or somebody who looks to achieve something every day, positive every day, to look at the mindset in general of the people where I live in the province and to understand what I'm about to say to you and understand it is not possible. So I'll tell you now I don't have a conversation about this because it's not my property. It's not my business. So I'm just talking about it. So if the fucking creep wants to bring this to the attention of the authorities, to go ahead and do so. So there's a place where the people party. It's called the Paroque. And on August 28th and 29th was the fiesta. And they turned it into a shit house with garbage all over the place, blowing around all over the front over here, and many broken bottles, and many packs of cigarettes, and a bag full of bottles that are broken, unbroken, and then broken bottles next to the bag, and then bottles next to the broken bottles, and then broken glass in the general area. I never saw them do that before, ever. I've been here 7 years. That was August 28th and 29th. What is today? September 9th. That was 10 days ago. Nobody has picked up even one bottle or one empty box of cigarettes at all, ever. Nobody has moved the broken glass away from where you walk in and out of the Peroque. No one has tried to get a box or a bag to put the bottles in. And yet, 2 or 3 or 4 people spend all day in the Peroque walking around broken glass, broken bottles, and garbage. And now the people that are in the Peroque, to be fair, it's not, they didn't make the mess. The people that stay in but some of them did. Some of them were partying during the fiesta, but the people that are in there now were not partying. But nobody will clean it up, because everybody else, if they clean it up, but they're not doing anything anyway. They spend all day sitting in there doing nothing. Nothing. They wait for somebody else to come by and they talk to them for 2 or 3 hours, but they're not doing anything. And that's day after day after day after day after day. The same people that don't do anything. They have no jobs. They have no work, but they get to sit in the Peroque for free. There's no charge there. And they have a beautiful wind coming off the ocean. They have a beautiful view, but not one of them will ever volunteer to pick up the garbage. How can anybody understand that kind of a mindset? You're walking around broken glass. Children are walking around broken glass. Babies are playing around broken glass, but nobody will pick it up. Even the mother of the babies won't pick it up because she didn't make the mess, and she didn't make the mess. And you think that you're going to come here and understand the Philippines culture? You're not going to understand it. How do you understand a woman with 3 children under the age of 4 having her children run around broken glass and not pick it up? How is that justifiable? How is it understandable? Oh, she didn't make the mess. Her kids didn't make the mess, but she'll leave it there because she didn't make the mess. So go to the next extreme. Her child steps on a broken bottle, and the child has to go to the hospital. The mother has no job. She has no money. Who's going to fix the child's foot? Who's going to pay for the cab fare to get to the hospital? Who's going to pay the hospital bill? All unknown answers. And there is no answer. But they won't clean up the glass that could put their own children in the hospital. And you want to understand the culture of the Philippines? That's not going to happen. Not so easy. I'll go next door and make a video of it. I'm not going to do it. Well, I am going to do it. I am going to do it, but I'm not going to put it on a live stream. And I have plenty of time. They're not going to clean it up. I'll make a video of the Peroque with all the garbage and all the broken glass. And then if someone says you're lying, then I'll wager them $1,000, and then I'll show the video to them. You want to understand the Philippines culture? Not going to understand it. And there's 2 people in there sleeping. Right now, they're in there sleeping. They were sleeping in there yesterday, the day before, last week, last month, 6 months ago, last year. They sleep there during the day. Neither one of them will pick even one pack of cigarette up to clean where their feet go on the floor. They just kick it. They just kick it over. It's an amazing place, the Philippines. That's it for my little diatribe today. And when it stops raining, I'm going to go next door and make a video because there's more crap on the floor since 2 days ago. Take care. I'm Big Permy from Michael Fazio in the Philippines. I have real work to do, actual physical work to work. I have to work on a machine, and none of your business. I'm Big Permy from the Philippines, baby. The most amazing place in the world.